WayneWDyer, change your thoughts, change your life, living the wisdom of the Tao. Embark on a transformative journey as you explore the profound teachings of the ancient Tao Te Ching, a poetic text offering guidance on how to live in harmony with the world around us. In this summary of Change Your Thoughts, Change Your Life by WayneWDyer, you will discover the power of the Tao, learn to embrace paradox, and find ways to reduce desire and ego-driven pursuits. By adopting these principles, you can experience an enlightening shift in your mindset and behavior. Through metaphors of water and the empty vessel, understand the importance of flexibility, softness, and non-action in cultivating a peaceful, fulfilling life. Delve into this summary to awaken the innate wisdom of the Tao within you.
Embracing the Tao's mystery. The Tao Te Ching, an ancient text of 81 verses, teaches that the Tao, an energy behind all creation, can be seen and understood only when we are desireless. The text emphasizes the need to not get caught up in names, labels, and categories. By reducing our desires and allowing things to happen naturally, we can align ourselves with the mysteries of the Tao and experience a more effortless way of living. The Tao Te Ching invites us to explore the Tao, a mysterious energy existing in the core of all creation. In its paradoxical nature, this force is nameless while simultaneously referred to as the Tao. The first verse reveals that the Tao is the origin of all things, the very essence and guiding force behind life. Consequently, names and labels are secondary to the true power and nature of anything. The text urges us to appreciate the difference between an object and its name. Words or labels, like those assigned to the vast ocean, are mere descriptors and pale in comparison to the raw essence of the subject itself. By placing less emphasis on names and categories, we come closer to the source, the vital force behind all creation. This vital force, the Tao, is known as the Mother of 10,000 Things. By invoking this moniker, the Tao Te Ching links every visible entity to the unseen Tao, the progenitor of all existence. To grasp the mysteries of the Tao, we must adopt a specific attitude, one marked by the absence of desire. Throughout the Tao Te Ching, numerous verses emphasize the pursuit of effortlessness and the reduction of desire. In doing so, we open ourselves up to a life of allowing rather than grasping. By wanting less and accepting more, we align ourselves with the natural flow of the world. In everyday life, we can observe instances where desires do not serve us well. While trying to sleep, for example, strong desires and restless thoughts only hinder our ability to doze off. It is only when we clear our minds and permit ourselves to naturally drift away that sleep will come. Gardening shares a similar philosophy. Eager desires will not make a garden grow faster or healthier. The natural world moves at its own deliberate pace, and we, too, must adopt a similar rhythm in our lives. To truly understand the enigmatic Tao, we must surrender to the natural order of things, and live a life that is ever desireless. Embracing life's paradoxes. The Tao Te Ching urges us to accept life's inherent paradoxes and recognize the duality of nature. By embracing these principles, we can change the way we think and act, ultimately leading to a more harmonious existence with the world. To follow the way of the Tao, we must be aware of the paradoxical unity that exists within everything and strive to act without effort, teaching others through our example. Doing so allows us to tap into our natural selves and find peace in simply being. The second verse of the Tao Te Ching teaches us the importance of accepting life's paradoxes. Western philosophy often focuses on the concepts of good and evil, whereas Taoism emphasizes embracing the duality of nature. This enables one to hold opposing thoughts without canceling each other out, thus realizing a deeper understanding of the Tao. A sage, or enlightened person, exhibits a natural synchronization with the world by embracing paradoxes such as acting without effort, having without possessing, and leading without controlling. These seemingly contradictory behaviors represent the unity of yin and yang, reminding us that one cannot exist without the other. In this light, we can appreciate that good cannot exist without evil, or beauty without ugliness. These qualities form a paradoxical unity, which should be openly accepted. Nature does not distinguish between good and bad or beautiful and ugly. When we judge things as such, we break the oneness of nature, distancing ourselves from the Tao. We must remember that the Tao resides within all of us, making us part of this unified whole. The second verse asserts that a sage can act without effort and teach without words. Throughout the Tao Te Ching, this theme of effortlessness is central to understanding the way of the Tao. This does not suggest laziness but rather embracing our natural selves. Imagine dancing. When lost in the moment with a partner, we don't consciously try, it just unfolds naturally. In this way, we can cultivate our peaceful, playful, and judgment-free selves while embracing life's paradoxes and harmonizing with the world. Diminish desires, embrace Taoism. The Tao Te Ching emphasizes reducing desires and being content with what you have, allowing a more natural motivation to emerge, one driven by generosity and focused on helping others. This ancient wisdom argues for the importance of living without excess, ego, and attachment. By fostering virtues like moderation, thrift, and generosity, you can align more closely with the Tao. Striving to minimize ego-driven thoughts and actions will lead to enlightening experiences, fostering a sense of peace and contentment. The Tao Te Ching encourages individuals to minimize desires, seeking contentment in what they have, knowing that the Tao has provided everything they need. Living according to the Tao means decreasing your possessions and interest in ego-driven pursuits, like wealth and power. Instead, focus on generosity and equally supporting others, regardless of their social standing. The teachings of Taoism underscore the importance of simplicity, self-discovery, and abandoning selfishness to curb desires. This lifestyle promotes virtues such as moderation, thrift, and generosity, ultimately bringing one closer to the Tao. By suppressing ego-driven desires, we enable more natural and productive motivations to emerge, aligning us with the Tao's path of compassion and support for others. Enlightened individuals, as described in the Tao Te Ching, act without ego. They avoid competition, give selflessly, and expect nothing in return for their actions. To follow their example, try monitoring your ego-driven thoughts during the day. When you notice any urge to seek credit or validation from others, resist acting on it. If you find yourself wanting to buy something unnecessary or extravagant, question whether you truly need it, and consider removing it from your list. In this way, embracing the Tao Te Ching's wisdom, remember that, to keep on filling is not as good as stopping. By diminishing desires and living with simplicity, you can foster greater contentment and align more closely with the Tao's teachings. Embrace the Tao, be like water. Embracing the wisdom of the Tao, we can learn from the characteristics of water, to nourish life without effort, to flow downward helping neglected areas, and to be an empty vessel for growth and enlightenment. By letting go of material possessions, labels, and descriptions, we can live in the void, the space where our essential being resides. Dedicate time daily to exist in this nameless, formless space to connect with your true self. One of the central lessons from the Tao is to embody the virtues of water. Water nurtures life merely by touching it, without striving or seeking. This gentle, natural quality is something we should aspire to. It's also known to flow into areas loathed by all men, nourishing the world's most neglected regions. Emulating water is considered a high form of enlightenment. Another powerful concept within the Tao is the idea of being an empty vessel rather than a full one. Our society encourages us to accumulate material possessions, food, and wealth. However, the Tao reminds us that emptiness, like the hollow space within a vessel, is what provides true usefulness. Instead of focusing on the superficial aspects of our lives, we should value silence, hunger, and receptiveness to foster our inner void. Embracing the void involves letting go of the labels and descriptions that distract from our natural essence. The Tao is nameless, it has nothing to do with job titles, nationalities, or age. Our essential being resides within this formless space, and connecting to it is far more important than our appearance or profession. To truly embody the way of the Tao, set aside at least 15 minutes each day to immerse yourself in the void that exists within all of us. Let go of the labels and physical manifestations that dominate modern life, and allow yourself to exist in the nameless, formless space that connects us to our true, essential nature. Embracing flexibility and softness. The Tao Te Ching challenges modern values by emphasizing the importance of flexibility, softness, and non-action in strength. It uses metaphors such as trees bending in the wind to illustrate how being brittle or inflexible leads to failure, while flexibility represents life. The teachings suggest that true strength comes from living softly, practicing non-action, and leading without control or force. By being a quiet example and trusting others to make the right decisions, one embodies the Tao, attracting others to this path without exertion or imposition. In our current world, we often equate strength with power and control, but the Tao Te Ching urges us to reconsider this perspective. It presents flexibility, softness, and non-action as the real sources of strength. As explained in verse 43, the softest of all things overrides the hardest of all things, and flexibility is a companion of life. Flexibility is metaphorically represented by trees that bend in the wind, demonstrating immense strength as they adapt to their surroundings. Their resilience is attributed to a deep-rooted, robust foundation, much like an enlightened master who embodies the virtues of the Tao. Alongside flexibility, strength comes from living softly, embracing non-action, and leading effortlessly. An enlightened leader teaches without words and guides without domineering control. They prioritize gentle silence over loud authority and impact others by setting an example rather than enforcing instructions. The Tao encourages leaders to trust that others possess the wisdom to make sound decisions for themselves. By leading with trust and without ego or interference, they empower those around them, embracing the Tao's way. Verse 70 beautifully states, "The great leader speaks little, works without self-interest and leaves no trace. When all is finished, the people say, 'We did it ourselves.'" The Tao Te Ching invites us to become active observers, embodying the virtues we admire and living in harmony with its teachings. As we do so, others will be drawn to the Tao's path without the need for force or manipulation, thus demonstrating the power of flexibility and softness in achieving true strength. Embracing peace through Tao. The Tao Te Ching emphasizes the importance of living in harmony and avoiding violence in leadership and daily life. Instead of resorting to force or anger, the ancient text urges embracing virtues of cooperation and non-action. By refusing to engage in abusive behavior and turning away from destructive tools, one can lead an enlightened existence and contribute toward a more peaceful world. The Tao Te Ching offers invaluable wisdom on the virtues of peaceful governance, advocating a life devoid of violence or hostility. Verses 68 and 69 emphasize the importance of cooperation and living without enemies. They explain that a good soldier is not violent, a good fighter is not angry, and good winners do not contend. Seeing others as enemies only brings misfortune. Forceful aggression contradicts the way of the Tao. As affirmed in verse 30, conquering others through violence ultimately results in barren, cursed lands. Rather than engaging in physical or verbal abuse, leading to further aggression, the Tao encourages a path void of weapons. Verse 31 cautions that arms serve evil, as the implements of oppressors are contrary to wisdom. Although some defend the right to own weapons, the way of the Tao envisions a time when violence and bloodshed become inconceivable. To usher in such a transformation, begin by re-evaluating your thoughts and refraining from using harsh words or exhibiting aggressive behavior. The Tao's teachings direct us to practice restraint and embrace non-action during heated moments. Instead of raising your voice or lashing out, pause and reorient yourself toward the Tao's principles. Force only breeds more force. Meeting each interaction with generosity and love is the path to personal and societal enlightenment. By integrating these lessons into daily life, individuals can make significant strides toward a more harmonious world.
As you journey through the wisdom of the Tao Te Ching, the themes of effortless behavior, embracing paradoxes, and reducing desires emerge as guiding principles on the path to enlightenment. By adopting a mindset of generosity and willingness to help others, you can find harmony in the natural world and live in alignment with the Tao. Embody virtues like water, being flexible and gentle while nourishing all life naturally. The importance of living softly, leading without controlling, and trusting in the innate wisdom of others are crucial aspects to achieve the balance and harmony found in the Tao. Reflect on these teachings to create a more mindful, compassionate life and become an agent of change in the world.